nurtured by nature and transformed from barren terra firma to the sublime. Maui, an island symbolizing the cycle of life. Lahaina was in that phase of perfect harmony and balance when the fire returned and heaven on earth burned. There is no quantifying the loss, no measuring the sorrow.
Surreal. Little Lahaina on the west side of Maui, like now the whole nation is aware of who we are.
30 years
of memories,
of just ash.
Darkness is indefinitely deep, but so is the human heart. So is our spirit of community. So is our hope. So is our capacity for sacrifice. So is our resilience and faith. And so must be our patience.
We all need to smile, laugh, cry. It's part of the process.
We are not letting a fire chase us away. We're gonna come back better, prettier, and stronger.
It's amazing how the littlest things can have the greatest effect right now. Our football team being able to play sports once again. Our kids going to the beach, hearing them laugh. Little wins go such a long way right now.
For Lahaina, paradise can only be rebuilt one sunrise at a time.
We come to you this morning from Honolulu, Hawaii, the site of this year's Maui Invitational. Due to the wildfires that devastated Lahaina, Maui, the tournament being held here on the island of Oahu. With Bill Walton, I'm Kanoa Leahy, and Bill, as you expressed so beautifully in that piece, the prevailing theme this week, in just the playing of this event, is one of hope.
We are alive, we will get by, we will survive. This is about the recovery. This is about using sports to rebuild our lives and to rebuild our spirit. And when I was coming in this morning to this incredible event, there was rainbows everywhere, and there was dripping plants, a beautiful, beautiful day, and our job is to use this venue to make the world a better place. Here we go, we're on our way.
Lahaina, our hearts are with you. Welcome to the All-State Maui Invitational. Oh, it was a fun day yesterday on the quarterfinal round where you have Tennessee and Purdue matched up for the first semifinal later tonight, as well as Kansas and Marquette. But we get things started on the consolation side with Gonzaga ranked 11th in the country, and Syracuse. Tells you a little bit about the depth of the field here. You got the 11th ranked team in the country in a consolation game on day 2. Aloha kakahiaka, good morning here in Hawaii.
It's a new day here, so enough with the consolation. We got a chance to play some great basketball here. Gonzaga, one of the great programs in all of college basketball, and they are led now by first-year player for them, but a transfer, Ryan Nembhard, whose older brother played here not too long ago. His game yesterday in the first half was spectacular, but emblematic of just how great this field is and how terrific Purdue is. They couldn't get much done at all in the second half. On the other side, it's Syracuse, legendary program here, won championship in their program's illustrious history. A lot of Hall of Famers. Judah Mintz is their leader. This was a tough offensive day. They played a very, very good Tennessee team who's got it all. And now we try to work our way back to the top of the mountain. It's gonna be a long, hard climb, but we got a chance, and that's all we can ask for. Here we go. Kanoa, the free one, trying to break the shackles.
Here is Graham Ike down low for Gonzaga. Yes, Kanoa Leahy along with Bill Walton. Angel Gray is with us as well. And Ike able to work his way around Naheem McLeod for the bucket. As we take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Hawaiian Airlines. Judah Mintz got into some early foul trouble yesterday against Tennessee, so he wasn't available for a good portion in that first half.
Beautiful penetration and dish Wonderful defense, Anton Watson. Needs to have a huge game, Anton. Critical player for years now.
How about
Did
the
not
bounce
have it.
for Dusty Stromer there from the corner?
Dusty. Looks like Jackson Brown to me. Dusty comes from Sherman Oaks via Notre Dame High School, legendary high school. Has given us so many top athletes, a lot of them in the NFL for years.
Gonzaga playing some defense here early. By the way, that made three, their first in 17 attempts. They were 0 for their last 16. Yesterday against Tennessee, they were 0 for 13 in the second half.
But they made their next one, so that's what counts.
As Chris Bell unable to hit his next one ahead of the pack, it's Anton Watson.
The game is out in front of you. Please, let's celebrate.
Well, the Bulldogs celebrating having scored the first 7 of this one about a minute and a half in.
Offense was a huge challenge yesterday against Tennessee. Last year's National Defensive Team of the Year. They've got some offensive firepower this year, the Vols do, but right now, Gonzaga really playing some fantastic defensive basketball, broken down that time by J.J. Starling.
J.J. Starling able to get Syracuse off the schneid. Syracuse lost to Tennessee 73-56 in the quarterfinals as Ike goes to work. Meanwhile, Gonzaga, we mentioned the shooting woes from 3 in the second half. They fell to Purdue 73-63.
Ike, who came over from Wyoming after a bunch of years there, but he's just taking it right to Naheem McLeod. And he's given up, I'm going to say, 6 inches, 7 inches in height. I mean, Naheem McLeod, that's a big dude. Yesterday he had a great start, but then lost his way after he went to the bench for the first time.
Judah Mintz with the step back 3.
There we go.
You had the steal at one end by J.J. Starling, and then Mintz going to work at the offensive end.
This is a guard-oriented team here. If they can get something really productive out of Naheem, and he's got a load of talent, they can get a good backup performance out of Malik Brown. They've got a chance here. But
foul going to go against McLeod there, the 7'4", 265-pound junior, as you take a look at Mark Few.
Mark Few, how is he not in the Hall of Fame already? I love the fact that Mark's got 2 of his 4 children on the team and staff. Little Joe is, as a player this year, getting some real minutes. And then one of his other sons is the assistant coach.
There's Joe there on the bench.
Looks like little Joey to me.
Well, he is kind of little Joey. You see the season averages for Graham Ike. His second trip out to Honolulu, by the way, he came out for the 2021 Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic while with Wyoming.
It's amazing. Now, I'm 71 years old, and I've been to Hawaii a lot in my life. I never came here until I was in the NBA, but that was when I was 21. But so many of these guys have never been to Hawaii.
Good fight underneath for the board. Won that time by Watson.
Tough pass.
Knocked out of bounds by Starling.
Tough pass. Love the way that Ike for Gonzaga has a mental approach. I mean, yesterday, Zach Edey, today, Naheem McLeod. I want to see Naheem and Zach Edey stand side by side. I mean, they're both 7'4". I mean, how do you measure someone who's 7'4"?
Ike was bothered there by Naheem for sure. Meanwhile, Watson goes reverse.
The quickness that Gonzaga has always played with under legendary coach Mark Few. You know, the spirit, the team game, the skill, the physical fitness, it's all right there. For Syracuse, first-year coach
Adrian Autry.
First-year coach Adrian Autry, he's got his work cut out for him to get this program going again.
There's Nemhart on the penetration.
But if anybody can do it, he will. Dusty, yeah.
That went a little long, and we got another foul. This is going to go against Naheem McLeod.
High-scoring affair right here in Honolulu. Emblematic of the rainbows, the waves, the high tide early this morning. Beautiful.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. Ace, the helpful place. Tommy Bahama. Shop for your team gear at TommyBahama.com. And Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business.
It's another Tommy Bahama day here in Honolulu.
That's right. Let's say hello to Angel Gray.
Aloha. Well, Mark Few and the Zags have been in this Invitational on 6 different occasions, taking home 2 titles in the process. But the Maui Invitational is just half of the story when you talk about Mark Few and his ties to the island. He considers this a home away from home for over 20 years. He said his family grew up there and he established a family in the Maui area. And he said, I just wanted to let them know that I love their spirit. Their community brought us and welcomed us in for an island that has given him so much. He said it is a privilege to be in this tournament and now help bring joy and healing in any way they can, guys.
Well, the guys who have been here so many different times, Mark Few, just an absolutely spectacular basketball coach, husband, father, community member, big active, big surfer outside.
And a big dunk there by Anton Watson.
Gonzaga's attacking the rim. And Adrian Autry has already made a substitution in the middle, taking Nelson McLeod out and coming with a very productive Malik Brown.
Nice finish there by Starling. Yeah, Naheem McLeod picking up 2 quick fouls for the Orange.
Naheem had a fantastic start yesterday, controlled the game.
Yeah, he definitely made an impact. His presence was felt.
At the beginning. But, you know, whoa, now that's a big-time play right there.
Okay, unable to hit the fadeaway.
Love the ball fake with the extension and just bringing it straight back. One-handed.
Tough shot by Starling, and then it's tapped out. Another stab at it here for Syracuse. Chris Bell rudely met on the way to the hoop. Gonzaga has scored 10 of its 15 points in the paint, Bill.
They're attacking the rim. They're not intimidated by Naheem Nelson at all. And led by Ike, who was just taking it right to. And as the confused Orange defense there just can't seem to match up out of bounds. But Mark Few is a genius coach. I mean, he's got these guys every single year. I mean, they've got maybe 16, 17 guys in the NBA right now. And it's just a spectacular list. And Zach Collins playing on one of the new high-profile teams, San Antonio, playing with Victor there. And Rui playing with LeBron. Malik Brown, no need to foul from behind as your man is running away from the basket.
Gonzaga has been in the Maui Invitational now 6 times. You mentioned Rui Hachimura. The last time was a memorable one in 2018, where then the 3rd-ranked Zags took down #1 Duke 89-87 in the championship. Hachimura was the tournament MVP. He had 20 points in that championship game, which was just a fantastic finale.
I was there. Jake called the game, and it was phenomenal. Beautiful passing, Anton.
And they're going to have a foul.
What Brandon Clark did in that game, I mean, Duke had a lot of light on that squad. Coach K, Zion, Cam Reddish, RJ, and the crowd. That was one of the few games, maybe the only one I've ever been to, where at the end of the game, both teams' fans were crying. Gonzaga with joy and pride, and Duke with angst.
It was star power for sure, though, on the floor that day.
That was quite the game.
Foul was called on the floor, so here's a 3 try by Hickman. Gonzaga shooting 27% on the season coming into this game from 3.
Hickman, a long-time starter here for Mark Few, but always under the radar here.
And that one pops out for Starling. Last touched out of bounds by Ike, so it stays with the Orange.
Ike grew up in Aurora, Colorado. Family of football players. When I look at Ike, I see Willis Reed. And I asked him before the game about that. He said he knows of Willis's story somewhat, but he never had the privilege of seeing Willis play.
Mintz hangs in the air. That one rims out. Ahead it goes to Stromer.
Dusty. If you got a name like Dusty, you got to use the plays. Anybody named Dusty, I want to be on his team. Dusty, Rusty, we got a Rusty here.
Oh,
beautiful
block up top
rotation.
by Starling.
Starling, an all-around player for Adrian Autry. Couldn't find much of an offensive game yesterday. I liked Syracuse's adjustments of moving the ball a little bit more.
Here's Bell for three. Bell had a good game in the loss against Tennessee. Team high 16 points, was 2 of 5 from downtown. Nemhart
Beautiful.
all the way to the hoop.
My two least favorite parts of basketball is when the guy with the biggest butt wins, or the guy who dribbles constantly 1 against 9. Yesterday, Syracuse was playing the latter style. Beautiful hands on the perimeter defensively.
Down to 6 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Bell from the right corner.
How many Syracuse games have you called in your career?
This is number 1. What about you?
Number 1 for me.
You got to be kidding me.
No. I mean, I've known Jim Boeheim, Dave Bing forever. Carmelo, one of the top 75 players of all time. Star for many Olympic teams. Top 10 scoring Carmelo in the history of the NBA. But this is the first privileged moment for me with the Orange. I know a lot of people from there. Michael and Kate Bealey,
Nice
Brandon
shot by
Steiner,
Nolan Hickman.
David Fall. But this is the first time.
Well, it's Gonzaga by 11. When we come back, we will hear from some of the first responders in Lahaina, Maui.
We need a first response right now, here.
That day we had 80-mile-an-hour winds being driven by a hurricane that was south of us. We start to see fire move through homes the way it moves through grass.
We knew that we didn't have that much time. We kind of just went around and just trying to evacuate people as quickly as possible.
Let's go, let's go! Clear out, clear out! You gotta go! Hurry up, go!
You can't really stop to think about like the devastation that's going on. You know, you just got to think of all the things that you can do to help.
To see the community come together, it was second to none.
Everybody has been helping everybody. People that you don't even know, you got people coming out and helping. Say, hey, how are you guys doing? What you guys need?
I'm hopeful that I will see a rebuild and see Lahaina get back up.
I have no doubt that this community is going to rebuild better than before.
The stories of heroism, August 8th and the days that followed, are innumerable, and you can learn more about how Maui is recovering from the devastating fires and the ongoing need for support by visiting hawaiicommunityfoundation.org.
We all need heroes in our life, and so many of them can be found at our local fire stations, our local schools, our police stations, the people who are working for FEMA and HEMA and the county organizations of Maui. Each island is its own separate county, and all of these people have stepped up. I've been most privileged in my life in that my first coach, I grew up in a family that had zero interest in sports, but my first coach was our local fireman. And I can make the argument that he was my best coach because as a little 8-year-old, little Billy, we got a substitution issue here. But my first coach, he knew sports. He knew life. He made it so much fun. We couldn't wait to get to practice every day. Is that Luka?
Yeah,
coming in?
Luka Krajinovic, 6'5" freshman from Croatia for Gonzaga, was checking in during the timeout, and we were being told, yes, as you mentioned, Bill, a substitution issue is being discussed.
Well, if we can't get the substitutions going, we've got real trouble here.
Well,
it's the morning game. Did you go home last night, or did you just sleep right here in your chair?
I was able to go home, but you were stuck here signing autographs for a good deal after the late game.
You're never stuck signing autographs.
No,
the greatest honor and the greatest privilege in the world. Kelly, what do we got here? He's going to explain it to Ivan the Terrific.
Keith Kimball, Nathan Farrell, Kelly Pfeiffer, the officiating trio.
What was the explanation there, Ivan the Terrific?
Okay, so Monir Hema for Syracuse was looking to check in, but they didn't have him listed in the official scorer's book, which results in an administrative technical foul.
And does that count as a personal foul against Namir?
No, I don't believe so in this case.
Had that issue last night, right? How many fouls on Bona?
We're still figuring that out. The pull-up there by Bell.
Beautiful.
And here's Gonzaga.
Munir Hema, 6'11" junior from Niger, went to high school in New Jersey. First time I've seen him play.
Offensive rebound and followed by Watson. Emphatic as well.
This game is indicative of just how good Matt Painter's Purdue Boilermakers are. Because all this stuff that's working perfectly for Gonzaga today, none of it worked yesterday. Luka. Is that Luka there?
This is Luka Krajinovic passing it over to Dusty.
And here's Braden.
Braden Huff coming off of a redshirt year a season ago.
Very nice player, Braden Huff.
Gets his own offensive rebound. Now lines up for three.
Skill, talent, size, maneuverability, a sense of how to play. I want Munir to shoot that ball.
Tough drive by Kyle Cuff, the transfer from Kansas.
Things didn't work out there with Bill Self and Kyle Cuff, but a terrific young player.
Oh, strong finish there by Watson, and he's putting together a ball game already. 10 points, 5 for 5 from the floor to go along with 4 rebounds.
Watson, he's got to be that guy. You need your best players to be at their best in the biggest of games. And Anton, normally a superb player in the big games, did not have one of those efforts yesterday against Purdue.
Good finish by Chris Bell.
But that's a lot easier said than done. You know, going up against Zach Edey, he changes things.
Yeah, it makes a difference when Zach Edey's not out there.
Not only is Zach 7'4", he can really play.
Nice shot by Huff. His 5th made 3 already this season.
And the possibility, the dizzying possibilities of maybe Kansas, Purdue, Hunter versus Zach in the finals. Oh my gosh. We're the luckiest people on earth. But a lot to be decided tonight.
Justin Taylor sails the 3.
Just missed. Justin, a superb player.
Well, while we have a break, let's take a look at tonight's expert move brought to you by Principal. And we're looking at the points in the paint. Gonzaga with a huge advantage.
Gonzaga's taking it to the rim, and they're using the rim, going to the weak side of that rim, using their hips, using their shoulders and elbows to protect the ball and be able to score. I love Gonzaga basketball because no matter who they have, their game is based on skill, timing, position, quickness, physical fitness, the team game. Nobody was more emblematic than that than Drew Timme. Drew Timme now with the Milwaukee Bucks, and I was shocked when he didn't get drafted. I mean, there was a lot of good players that didn't get drafted. I was thinking that Greg Popovich was going to pick up a ton of those guys to support Victor, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, Drew Timme is going to go down as one of the all-time greats in college basketball, as the pull-up by Krajinovic doesn't go. Another guy who's not there for Gonzaga right now, Steele Venters, the transfer from Eastern Washington. They were going to rely on his scoring, certainly from the perimeter, but he injured his knee in practice, postponed surgery to be able to accompany the team out on this trip to Hawaii, as Chris Bell is able to hit for Syracuse.
Yeah, Steele Venters from Eastern Washington. which is in Cheney. Or maybe Cheney? How do you say that? Cheney?
I believe it's Cheney. Here's the poke away. Judah Mintz.
No, he almost lost that ball.
He had some bad intentions going up. He finishes on the reverse. 5 points for Mintz, but it's a 10-point advantage for Gonzaga, including a 10-point advantage in the paint.
Up and down basketball, which favors the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Syracuse with defensive pressure and the ability to extend and use the back of that rim even when there's no defense. Judah Mintz.
Here this week during Feast Week here in Atlantis, also out in Maui. None better than my guy Cosmo here. 10 feet long, 600 pounds, phenomenal athlete. You'll see him all week. It's Feast Week. It's college basketball. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now, Jimmy, he's got his friend Cosmo. I've got my friend Cosmo. They don't look quite the same, but the bad boy mowers battle for Atlantis. The Atlantis Resort, home of one of the 2 greatest jacuzzis on this planet. Oh my gosh.
That gets going tomorrow at noon Eastern on ESPN. Jimmy Dykes hanging with the Dolphins down there.
Have you ever done that?
I have, actually, as a matter of fact, at the hotel you happen to be staying at.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yes. Lori has been enjoying the Dolphin show very much.
I've always an offensive foul against Huff.
I've always wanted to be Lori's dog. Now I think I want to be Lori's dolphin. At least I've got the nose to go in that direction.
7:43 left to go here in the first half.
You ever been to Spokane?
I have, as a matter of fact.
What were you doing there?
A couple of times.
You're on tour with the Grateful Dead, or
yeah,
what?
I was given the privilege to call a couple of Gonzaga games over there. Also,
I've done that myself. Beautiful
nice
drive.
finish. Judah Mintz now with 7.
The offense is going right now for Syracuse. Their guards both playing well, Mintz and Starling. And again, just a total different level when Zach Edey is not in the game. What Matt Danger has been able to do is surround Zach with a lot of real players.
The response, meanwhile, immediately by Nolan Hickman. Gonzaga shooting 52% from the floor.
Did you ever play basketball?
I gave it a try in the old high school days. Here's Bell.
Great defense. Braden Huff. Were you more like Ryan Nembhard or more like EK or more like Naheem McLeod? What was your game?
I was a little more like what Steel Venters is right now. A lot of lower leg injuries.
Stuck to the ground.
Very much so, yes.
Gravity was your best friend.
And biggest foe. Thoughts on what we're seeing from a pace standpoint here in this one, Bill?
I love this pace, up and down. You know, we're not going to have any shot clock violations today, thank goodness. I'm sad that Syracuse doesn't have Chance Westry transferred over.
Yeah, transfer from Auburn.
Chance is named for a character in one of Jerzy Krasinski's greatest books, being there. When I asked him that a year ago, when I saw him when he was playing for Auburn, I said it just out of curiosity, because being there is by Jerzy Krasinski, one of the great books ever written. But the lead character was named Chance. And I said, do you know that guy? And he said, I'm named after him. I've never been more proud.
Yeah, Chance Westry recovering from knee surgery. Had knee surgery to his other knee.
Whoa.
And he was still at Auburn.
Just missed. Malik Brown is a right-handed player with that left-handed jump hook.
Nembhard stepping into a 3.
The Zags have not needed Ryan Nembhard much today. Yesterday, he was by far their best player.
Yeah, that was just his second shot attempt.
Well, they didn't have a best player in the second half, but EK has been superb. And Willis Reed who was dominant in an era that had Bill Russell, Wilt, Kareem, so many unbelievable accomplishments for the captain, Willis Reed, who sadly passed away in the last year or so.
A couple of subs here for Syracuse. Starling back into the game, as well as Naheem McLeod. McLeod sat for 10 minutes of game time because of the too early fouls. And he's out there. The transfer from Florida State makes a difference. His presence is known.
Whoa. You can't even see over him or around him. Beautiful attack by Anton Watson.
That is the first miss of the game for Watson.
Copeland, the team's best practice player. Although I always found it better if you were going to be at the top of your game during the game.
Well, that one went down and then popped out for Starling.
Give it to Ike. He is dominated early on.
Backing in, little shimmy move against McLeod, but he changed pivot foots.
When you're playing against someone who's bigger than you are, turn and face him. He'll have to back up. Naheem McLeod is so big and so strong. His dad is 7'5". I need to see the family picture of the McLeod family from Philadelphia.
Yeah, Dad Kelvin measures in, we are told, at 7'5".
Who was a pro player himself in his day over in Europe, I believe.
Must have had some.
This is the first time I've seen Naheem play in person.
As Hickman hits the runner, yeah, they must have had some battles in the driveway back in the day.
Or at the dinner table.
Closing in on 4 minutes to play in the first half.
I lost all those battles at our dinner table. I had a brother that played in the NFL. And he weighed 300 pounds in high school. But by then, he was a wonderful big brother.
Greg picking up the foul there. There you see Adrian Archie in his first season.
Well, they call him Red.
Yeah, Red.
He said he used to have red hair. I did too. He used to have hair. I did too.
Taking over for Jim Boeheim, who retired after 47 years as head coach. Copeland fouled in the act of shooting.
And
well, guys, this is a unique situation for Coach Red Archery. He said, I was in this tournament as a freshman, won the championship, being an assistant as well. Now a head coach. Someone asked him, what was the difference for him? He said, well, losing. This is something they've never done in the Syracuse program, losing in this tournament. So he is also trying to make some adjustments along the way in his tenure.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Angel. That's right. Syracuse, this is their fourth trip to play in the Maui Invitational. They were 9-0 going into that game yesterday.
He was a 4-year starter, comes out of New York City, loves New York City basketball. And, he sort of missed the days of Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, David Busher, Bill Bradley, Dick Barnett, Earl Monroe.
Out of bounds it goes. It will stay with Syracuse. Gonzaga by 11.
Red, Autry, yeah. Orange, Syracuse. Here we go.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement. And by Novavax. Choose to protect your family and loved ones this holiday season with Novavax.
Trees, vines, orchids, cycads, running paths. Life at its...
Welcome inside our ESPN studios. Josh Pastner, Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Chris Budden. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at this game, break this one down, and also look ahead to the semifinals with 4 top 10 teams in action tonight. But Josh, what stood out between Syracuse and the Zags?
Well, right now, Gonzaga scoring. Yesterday against Purdue, they couldn't score in the second half. It's a lot different when you're able to put the ball in the basket. They're making shots right now.
And points in the paint for Syracuse, that's been an issue for them. Tennessee had 14 second chance points. Right now, Gonzaga doing a nice job controlling the paint.
From a 30-degree Bristol, Connecticut, out to a very beautiful Honolulu. Bill and Kanoa, take it away.
Hey, thanks, guys. Gonzaga up 11 here. 3:52 left to play in Honolulu, Hawaii. First game of day 2 of the All-State Maui Invitational. Syracuse right now shooting just under 30%. They are 0 for their last 5 from the field. A lot of resistance there on that try by Taylor, and a somewhat late whistle on the play.
No, I think they're going to call the foul on the rebound. Justin Taylor ended up on his back from 2 guys. Play on.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to get Hickman on the foul under the glass against McLeod. Syracuse with 8 made field goals, just 1 assist. That has been a bit of their offensive signature, a lot of one-on-one type of drives.
It's better today than it was yesterday. But Tennessee and Purdue are both outstanding defensive teams. And those teams are at another level right now than these 2 teams today.
Well, you got guys like Starling and Mintz who can definitely create their own shots, and they're doing so.
But it's not so much how good you are, it's how good your teammates are. It's also how good the opposition is.
The drop off to Ike, the pump fake to get the 7-4 McLeod out the way. And Ike finishes for his 8th point. He's got 8 points, 9 boards, near double-double here in the first half.
Well, Watson and Ike have combined for 18 points and 14 rebounds. But here's Nembhard, who's just playing this one for everyone else.
Nembhard, the transfer from Creighton, was all-tournament in the Maui Invitational last year. There's the miss on the reverse by Watson, and it will go the other way.
The versatility that is always a trademark of Gonzaga basketball. To see how well Ben Gregg does. Ben Gregg, who comes in as a multifaceted reserve. He's 6'10", but he can play everywhere on the court. From Clackamas, Oregon. You ever been there?
I have not. I will admit that.
So the Clackamas River comes out of the Cascade Mountains just south of Mount Hood. But up in that watershed, the Bagby Hot Springs. Oh my gosh.
Well, Mintz hits the 3, Bill. He's got 10 points, and the deficit is down to 8. And that gets a little bit of an eruption from the Orange faithful in the house. 3 ball by Stromer, leaves it short, but the long rebound collected right on cue by Gregg.
Tease him there, Ryan.
Ike.
Throw it down. Quickness. Freeze the defender and just pass it right through him. If I could have only played like Ryan Nembhard. Oh my gosh, just so graceful.
Starling too strong there, and it's going to be a push-off foul against McLeod.
Nembhard down the lane off the long rebound, just takes it right to the guy, brings him away, brings Naheem McLeod away from the basket a little bit, and then Ike's perfect position. Don't crowd the lane there. Stay away from the basket to give your teammate a passing angle. And Nembhard, like his brother, just superb all-around players and totally committed to the team. I'm just going to guess that they've got great parents.
Well, both Nembhard brothers transferring to Gonzaga, and
beautiful,
obviously leaving an impression. Ram Ike leaving an impression on that rim.
The poor rim. But talking to Ike about his life and growing up there in Colorado, beautiful block, Dusty.
Blocked by Stromer.
Beautiful
bounce pass, laid up and in by Gregg. How about the vision for Ryan Nembhard?
Syracuse in trouble right here.
Mintz for 3. The follow by Bell doesn't go.
But Ike, he loved Zach Randolph growing up, Chris Bosh, all the left-handed guys. Also Shaquille O'Neal, the Orange, guilty of a foul, throwing Ike to the ground. But the passing of the Zags, man, the Bulldogs barking, ruff, ruff, ruff. And they're just teasing him. Nembhard, this is another level. I mean, this is what we were hoping to get from Tyler Kolek last night. Tyler was completely taken out of the game by UCLA's superb defense, but So Fine came and led the Golden Eagles to a spectacular win in the best game on day one.
One-on-one attempt for Ike, as you saw Jun Suk Yo check into the game for Gonzaga, 6'8" sophomore from Seoul, South Korea.
Have you been there?
I have not. You?
Oh, my goodness. What a city. Big as can be. Did you ever read The Longest Winter, David Halberstam? As great a book as ever been written. All about the Korean War and the success of the rebuilding of that part of the world. That's a traveling violation.
They got to get the shot up. They're unable to. Mintz was closed out there by Watson. And by the time he got the ball to Bell, it was too late. 4.7 left in the half.
So mark this date and moment down in Maui Invitational history. A shot clock violation in the first consolation game of day two.
Got about a 9:30 a.m. start time here in Honolulu. And yeah, I believe you said we weren't going to see any shot clock violations.
Well, if you have a shot clock violation in the consolation bracket, you're overthinking this, please.
Here we go, Nembhard.
Great.
Gonna get a shot off.
Oh, just missed. What a fun player. What a terrific game. Take 15 minutes, folks, and go find your take 15 minutes, folks, and go find your rainbow and come right back.
Let's send it over to Angel. She's with Mark Few.
Coach, you told me with the quick turnaround, your message to your team was just play. They looked very solid in the first half offensively. What impressed you the most?
I mean, the message was to just come out and compete, you know, play with joy, play with great energy, pick each other up. Thought we did a really nice job on the defensive end. We had some real good spurts on the offensive end when we were playing with our feet on the ground and making the simple play.
EK is just one rebound away from a double-double in the first half. What do you like about how dominant he's been so far?
I did not know that, but I mean, what I like is he's really doing a nice job protecting the rim. I think his teammates are doing a really good job of finding him in the spots where he can be successful.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yep, you bet.
12-9 for Ike. Zags closed the first half on a 6-0 run. 39-25 at the break. Let's get you to the studio with Chris Budden, Malcolm Huckabee, and Josh Pastner.
Mark Few, so interesting. Hi, Josh. I'm going to find a rainbow. I'll be right back.
Presented by Lowe's. Welcome to the All-State Maui Invitational. It is halftime here on day 2, 11th ranked Gonzaga. Up on Syracuse, 39-25.
Oh, my. The halftime shows that they put on here, Kemper Sports Live, Maui Invitational, it just doesn't get any better than this. We are the luckiest people on earth, and what a first half. Wow, the ball movement for Gonzaga was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, that's Bill Walton. I'm Kanoa Leahy. And yeah, you talked about the ball movement. In fact, 10 of the 17 made field goals for Gonzaga were assisted on as we take a look at our good hands plays brought to you by Allstate.
Nembhard was beautiful when he had to be, but this has been a Gonzaga clinic on the offensive end. Syracuse's offense has not been good enough. Ball movement. Most importantly, movement without the ball so that there are passing angles. Graham, EK, yeah, 12 points, 10 rebounds. Anton Watson, very solid. Those two guys together there, and Syracuse, they need to score a lot more. Angel?
Well, guys, I spoke with Coach Autry, and the things that you liked about the Zags offense was obsolete for Syracuse. He said he needs his team to share the ball. They only had 2 assists in that first half, and the second part of this is just defend together. During the Zags 6-0 run, most shots were uncontested. He said, I'm asking them to play together more than anything to start the second half.
Well, a good start to the second half there as Judah Mintz adds to his point total.
So he's got 12 points on the day, and it is day, right? It's been a while since I've been outside.
It's still morning.
Okay. It was a rainbow when I came in.
Graham EK cleans up the spill.
So Syracuse has 27 points. Judah Mintz, he has 12 of those 27 points. And so my computer like mine tells me that the rest of the team, that's 11 other guys, they have 15 points between them. They might need Adam Morrison and Tracy Murray Jordan Wilkes, who were all here in attendance today to come out and help him put some points on the board for the Orange.
A turnover for the Orange, and then a foul committed in the backcourt.
Now, the orange is a color, right? Is that a color, or is it the orange that you eat?
It's the color.
The color, okay, I love colors.
Well, there's Red Autry, speaking of colors.
Now, I'm told that he used to have red hair. I can't remember. This is my first Syracuse game, but I asked him if he did. He said he confirmed it. He said it was very much like Dennis Johnson's once red hair. Dennis now passed away, sadly, of a broken heart.
Okay, lost the basketball. Here's Mintz in transition, goes right into Nembhard, who picks up the foul.
That's great defense by Ryan Nembhard, who's backing up, comes out, stops him, forces him to get in the air, but positions himself perfectly. Please. It's day 2 in the morning. Let him play.
Nembhard, who is a little bit smaller in terms of his frame and stature to brother Andrew, but Mark Few saying maybe a little bit of the quickness advantage if you were to compare the two, maybe slightly at this stage.
How many children do you have?
I don't have any children.
Okay, so don't rank, rate, or compare your children. Just enjoy them all.
I would imagine you would love them all equally.
The children are like championships, concerts, coaches, and congratulations. Just enjoy them all.
You've never been to a bad concert?
I didn't say that.
Here's Stromer for 3. Oh, we got a tie up there. Possession arrow keeps it in this direction, but the officials trying to calm the temperature a little bit there as Mintz and Nembhard were in the tug of war.
So I'm a deadhead, and so there was a time years ago when you could buy a ticket, an airline ticket from San Francisco to Alaska, and then they would allow you to come home through Hawaii with no set return date or anything like that. And it was fantastic. Oh my gosh. Shows in Alaska under the midnight sun, and then down to Hawaii. Great defensive rotation, Syracuse.
Starling picks it off.
Sterling, yes.
And then off the hesitation move, challenges Ike to no avail.
Please, pass the ball.
Ike in transition, and he took a few too many steps there.
Yeah, warm it up, Kelly. So I had the privilege of visiting with Adam Morrison, who one of the great players in the history of basketball.
Had some incredible moments in this tournament.
Yes, and Adam now doing the radio, lives in Spokane, his hometown, with his wife and 3 wonderful children.
Oh, nice finish by Mintz, just hanging in the air. He now has 16 of Syracuse's 31.
And I was so sad when Adam tore up his knee in his 2nd year. And Adam was telling me that he did that driving against one of our children, Luke Walton, who over the years they've become great friends.
Great photo opportunity I saw taking advantage of. You had Tracy Murray, yourself, Adam Morrison. A lot of buckets in this one picture frame here.
It's so wonderful to see so many friends here all these years. There are some big-time scorers there. I could have done something with my life playing in the middle for those 2 guys. Throw it down, Naheem, yes.
Yeah, how easy is that for Naheem McLeod? Behind the defense, 7-4, easy flush.
Syracuse catching up here.
And he is the first player not named Mintz to score in this 2nd half for the Orange, as Gonzaga will hang on to it.
Wow, now that is a complete breakdown defensively. But the joy that Mark Few preaches, teaches, and lives is just evident in the whole culture around here, and the longtime fans. Phil and Tom McCarthy are here. They've come from Salt Lake City. They travel the world with these Zags.
Nembhard left
great
it short.
defense.
The follow
Great
not
defense.
there for Watson.
Best play of the night for Naheem McLeod.
Certainly altering some shots. It is a 6-0 run here for Syracuse, trying to cut further into the deficit.
Syracuse faithful, standing tall and proud.
Oh, but they throw it away.
Rusty, you okay? Rusty's okay. He was quick to bail, though. That ball was coming. Haven't seen Rusty move that quickly since we were on the outrigger canoe out in front of Canapali.
This is Rusty's camera vantage point, so good to see the camera's still working. Not that we weren't worried about Rusty initially. As you see the bucket there for Gonzaga, Nolan Hickman.
Nobody can take care of themselves like Rusty.
Mintz.
Well,
the scoop shot, that was pretty.
So Nolan Hickman does a great job defensively of forcing the double clutch, but there was no big man rotation. Ike choosing to stay with Naheem McLeod.
Mintz with 8 second-half points.
That means he's got 18 for the game.
And Syracuse within 8.
Great defense by McLeod again. Now, the Orange can only hope that his superb play at McLeod's continues.
Cuff tried to rise up, but it was Hickman in his grill.
He was up in the air to pass, but Naheem was not looking at the ball. Send it back, Naheem. Shades of Akeem. Seamless transition.
Ike, some active hands for the Orange that time, though the foul will go against Kyle Cuff. Gonzaga 2 for 7 with 4 turnovers here in half number 2. Judah Mintz turning it on.
Judah Mintz in every way, doing whatever he can. How sweet it is. Let's go. Prater Flooring giving us all the colors we could ever ask for and all the creativity from Judah. How sweet. Mintz. They are, yes. Oh,
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows home improvement. And by Allstate. You're in good hands.
That's what every day in Hawaii looks like. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Bill, the Bruins have arrived here.
My favorite part. Yes. There's Pete. And there's Devin. Looks like it's raining out there.
UCLA going up against Chaminade in game 2 of day 2. UCLA and Marquette last night. That was the game of the day to cap things here at the Maui Invitational last night.
UCLA is a very, very competitive team, and they're going to be playing the Silver Swords. Chaminade right next door. But I'm always dreaming about what's next, right? And do we have a chance at a Gonzaga-UCLA game? Oh, my goodness. Those teams, Gonzaga has owned the Bruins.
Well, Syracuse is down 8, and they have over 15 minutes of basketball to try to change that scenario.
Well,
as that one goes off the glass and in for Watson.
So when Watson has a big game, Gonzaga can beat anybody. Right now, as they just learn how to play.
Mintz is just doing his thing, Bill. He's got 20.
Well, I'm not sure the Bulldogs have realized that Judah Mintz is looking to score.
Had 15 points with just 4 of 14 in the loss to Tennessee. He's 8 of 11 from the field here.
Great block by McLeod. Throw that ball up over the top and let Ike slam it down on the weak side.
Oh, that one almost went in for Mintz on the pull-up.
Guys, we're seeing a more composed Judah Mintz in this second half. I asked him what the adjustments were after the game 1 loss. He said, I have to be a better floor general for my team. He doesn't think that he had people in the right place. He said, I have to be better controlling the pace. You can see him really being more assertive and making sure that happens this time.
Speaking of assertive, Nolan Hickman calling his own number and drilling the 3.
The game's getting a better rhythm right now as the players a little sluggish out of the halftime rainbow break. But Judah Mintz, who spent time at Oak Hill Academy, you play at that level, that's a whole deal. But he went and tested the NBA waters and found out that they weren't as impressed with him as he was with himself.
And it was projected somewhere in the second round. That may have prompted him to pull his name out of the draft. Today, though, I think anybody would be impressed watching this guy in action.
But everybody should test the NBA waters. For this reason alone, Judah Mintz able to make a reverse layup out of a wide open gimme. But the NBA, if you go and ask them what it looks like for your future, they'll tell you, and they'll tell you the truth. And if you listen to your buddies, if you listen to your family, you listen to other people who have some sort of stake and interest, well, that might not be the best or most unbiased advice that you'll ever get. They took him out.
Yeah, he's getting a deserved breather here, 10 points in the second half.
I'm just going to say that Judah Mintz does not need a breather with all these timeouts.
You might be right.
With all these stoppages for free throws. One of the things that I love about watching the practices, now most of the practices that we get to watch are stand-arounds, not Kansas. Kansas, they were running. And they've got these drills where they're just going up and down, 5-on-5. The play never stops. There's no out-of-bounds violations. There's no fouls called. And they are running and they are on the move. And when they start playing games, that's the way they play as well. And that's why they're the #1 team in the country.
It's an open look for Watson.
Whoa, watch your face.
Rebound collected by Malik Brown. How about the practice for Marquette? And that's the matchup at the end of today, day 2 action of Maui Invitational, Kansas Marquette. Marquette's practice was lively, to say the least.
Well, that's the way they always practice. That's a traveling violation.
Traveling called against Braden Huff. College football rolls into week 13. On Friday, it's Texas Tech taking on number 7 Texas at 7:30 Eastern over on ESPN. Then Saturday, number 4 Florida State faces Florida at 7 Eastern. Then wrapping up the night on ABC, it's top-ranked Georgia versus Georgia Tech.
I'm going to take Georgia in that one. And one of the challenges for Marquette is that they were so high after that fantastic victory last night, to be able to come right back, because you can't get that high again without coming down.
What an effort there by Malik Brown to keep that ball in bounds and in Syracuse's possession.
And they were so fired up at the end, and well, they should be. But, Kansas had their way with Chaminade, so they'll come out ready. Kansas will. They always do.
Good finish by Starling. Challenged by Watson. It didn't matter.
Great job by
Syracuse
Starling.
within 7.
Yeah, they're saying, sit down, Bill. You're talking about UCLA and Gonzaga. We've got a lot to say about that.
Both fan sections on their feet. Here's Nembhard, the step back.
And
Rebound
Greg.
underneath there for Gonzaga, and a kick to Braden Huff for 3.
The way that Ryan Nembhard gets rid of the ball quickly, just no hesitation, never thinking about himself, always thinking about the team.
It was Ben Gregg who kept that possession alive. Back to 10 now, the lead for Gonzaga.
And Nembhard is willing to drive the ball into his teammates' defenders so that he can create the double team. Whoa.
Bell on the drive. A lot of resistance. Offensive rebound, Quadir Copeland. And that'll bring us to a dead ball.
When EK goes to the bench, Gonzaga, they really have to tighten things up on the defensive boards if they're going to succeed long term.
Our thoughts, our prayers, our hearts continue to go out to the people of Maui, particularly on the west end of Lahaina, as we continue to see the recovery effort there after the wildfires of August 8th. Angel Gray is with some special guests here in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yes, I'm with Sharon. She's the life of the party. She's getting everybody organized. Honestly, they're just a group that's so excited to be here in Honolulu for the Maui Invitational. It's in Honolulu, but Maui Invitational usually on that island in Maui. Can you describe, Sharon, how you got to this point and the excitement of being here?
Oh my God, so we're so blessed to be part of this, and we flew early this morning from Kahului, Maui, just to be here. We brought our kids. I have my coaches here for my kids. I have my friends and our coworkers, everyone from Kahului to Lahaina, Wailuku. We're all here. Hawaiian Airline hooked us up and our friends with everybody. My friend Reese here, her company.
Alexis McKay is the one that got us here, and we're just so grateful. A lot of us would not be able to attend this event without them sending us here. Yeah, we're just so proud and happy to support Maui Strong. They're in our hearts, and we're taking that fire that touched everyone's souls, and we're putting it, giving it a positive spin. We're showing up representing Maui.
Yes.
And then the red color too. I know that if you can go back into that for Maui, what this color means for you guys.
Lahaina strong, and red is strong. And right now, it's the blessing, and we want to stand out. And like she said, we want to represent Maui and the blessing that we have.
There are more than the fires in Lahaina. There's fires up country, there are fires in Kihei. All of those fires burn for days. And it literally touched every single person on that island.
To see the joy that you guys have now and how sports has really kind of helped in that way, how do you describe just having that healing in that aspect?
It's a community coming together. We become a family, helping each other. And with the sports bringing us, we cheer together. We forget, right? We forget
never been to a game before.
The bad stuff because we're celebrating together. And we're happy to be here together and with all surrounded by happy vibes, positive vibes. So thank you.
It's unbelievable just through the devastation of August 8th to see the joy you guys have. That's what Bill Walton has continuously described, the healing aspect and moving forward. Thank you so much for being here and best of luck. Guys.
Well, they're being treated to a pretty darn good basketball game right now as well as Malik Brown throws it down, cutting the lead down to 6.
Oh, what a fantastic job by Angel to be able to bring that joy to the television and all those young children. We have a ton of grandchildren ourselves, and Lori and I are the luckiest people in the world. But the action on the court continues to be superb. Yeah, Malik Brown just throwing it down big time, and Judah Mintz, who did not sit down for very long at all. I'm a little surprised that Adrian Autry even took him out. I mean, he played with big-time guys when he was there at Syracuse. Conrad McRae, Lawrence Moulton, the all-time leading scorer. Mike Hopkins was on that team. Mike Hopkins now coaching University of Washington, doing a magnificent job.
Nice finish by Hickman to beat the shot clock buzzer. Back to an 8-point lead for the Zags.
Every time Syracuse just gets ever so close, they break down defensively. And Malik Brown has got to learn to come away from the basket to make that defensive stop. He doesn't have near the size that Naheem McLeod has.
Good effort underneath by Copeland, the 6'6" sophomore from Philly, working his way under the glass and drawing the foul. Ben Gregg picks up his second, but getting back to some of the Maui residents who are in the house, a wonderful gesture by Kemper Lesnick, Hawaiian Airlines, and bringing some of the people who were impacted by the fires. You heard one of the comments, some of those youngsters, this is their first time watching a college basketball game, certainly the first time here in this arena, and I think that that just adds so much to this experience. The reverse by Mintz, incredible.
Put that in there with Sports Center's top 10 for the day.
Meanwhile, Nembhard misses from up close. Scramble for the loose basketball.
Beautiful.
Open look for Hickman. Got it.
Look at all the happy people. Back and forth. Judah Mintz, Hickman is dueling stars here.
So Nembhard just 2 points, but his backcourt mate, Hickman, 17 in this game.
Give and go, please. You get a guy in the air like that? Please.
4 seconds to shoot, so Starling does.
EK dominant. That guy's got a great future, EK.
3-ball from the corner is good. Ben Craig blows a kiss to the crowd.
Looks like a timeout coming for Syracuse. But to watch Pete Gillen, Dave Odom, and Andy Katz sitting underneath the basket, just a thing of beauty. Phenomenal action up and down the court here. Judah Mintz, how sweet it is. I want what he's on. That ability to spin it. It's like Minnesota Slim. Hickman comes right back and then turns to the crowd. Not sure what that sign is, but I don't know. Wow, what a game. What an event, what an atmosphere.
So the Zags, after Syracuse cut it to a 6-point deficit on an 8-2 run, Bill.
But Ben Gregg, who runs on the break, runs out, cuts through the lane, heads to the corner, and his cut to that corner allows EK to take the middle, the groove, the Wilt Chamberlain groove, to draw the defensive end in, and then Ben Gregg, with his versatile game, coming from the Clackamas River, the Cascade Mountains, and Bagby Hot Springs, able to get that three to fall down. Just beautiful rhythm, and the team game, and Ryan Nembhard, just the floor general. Never about stats, all about winning, all about enabling and empowering. He's got a future at Kemper Sports Live when his basketball days are done.
Yeah, case in point, he's got just 2 points, 1 of 6 shooting, but he's affected the game in all kinds of ways with 7 assists and 5 boards. They're going to say that that one was touched before it crossed the midcourt line. We're going right back to commercial, Bill.
Another commercial? Wow, I thought we were trying to play basketball.
You got to pay the bills.
Honolulu.
Bill.
Wow.
The inaugural NBA in-season tournament continues tomorrow night with another group stage doubleheader. The Bucks take on the Celtics at 7:30 Eastern, and then it's the Suns hosting the Warriors. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app.
I've been enjoying the in-season tournament immensely. Love the courts, love the concept. Anything that makes winning the games more important, I'm all for.
We get the unique court design here.
John
Maui
Prater.
Invitational, that's right, on his Maui Invitational floor. And
who's a Tennessee alum. He's proud and beaming as can be. Great play, Malik Brown. His best foray to the hoop. So did you ever work with Neil Everett when he was working here?
I actually go back a little bit with the great Neil Everett. He used to be a local sports anchor in Honolulu, and I worked with him when he was doing that and doubling as a compliance officer and associate athletics director at Hawaii Pacific University, if you would believe that.
Neil Everett in charge of compliance?
Yeah, that's right.
I want to be on that team. Great pump fake there by the Orange.
Nolan Hickman picking up his third personal foul.
What's the team foul situation?
3 ball by Bell is off the mark.
Hopefully we'll never get to the bonus.
Well, you have 4 team fouls for the Zags, 3 for Syracuse.
Syracuse needs more points. There's 6 minutes to go and they got 49 points.
Oh, the pass picked off.
I remember when Dave Bing and Jim Boeheim were the starting backcourt in the 60s and 6, and the team averaged 99 points a game, per game for the whole season.
10 second-half turnovers for Gonzaga. They have 16 for the game.
And that has allowed the Orange from Syracuse to get back into this. You ever been to the Turning Stone?
Just hanging around the Orange, huh? Oh, that pass, though, picked off. They turn it right back over. Nembhard all by himself.
Wow. That's tough when you turn a baseline out-of-bounds play into an uncontested layup for the other team. Traveling violation.
Yeah, Copeland was trying to get it back to Starling.
Whoa.
All right, time for our play of the game, driven by Continental Tire.
I love Continental Tire. That's what I ride on my bike. The best. Gator skins.
It's Nembhard with the takeaway and the breakaway.
That's just an indescribably bad play by Syracuse.
And look at the extended pressure here by the Orange.
These are good players. When I first saw Syracuse walk in at the practice gyms for those first 2 days, I said, what NBA team is that? These are some big, fit dudes.
And very sophomore heavy here, this roster. 9 sophomores. They don't have any scholarship seniors. So a young team, but like you said, talented for sure.
And how they're going to deal with the Tinder portal. Because, you know, who do you love today?
Step back by Hickman.
EK just so strong, so powerful.
It'll go the other way.
Copeland and Malik Brown, you know, they've got a monstrous load on their shoulder trying to keep Graham Ike off the glass. He walks like Willis Reed. He runs like Willis Reed. He shoots like Willis Reed.
Getting back to Syracuse, though, you did have to pinch yourself a little bit watching practice, and certainly what we have seen here under Adrian Autry in his first season with so much man-to-man defense.
Well,
compared to the decades under Jim Boeheim in that staple zone as Copeland missed from up close.
Well, people ask what their role is on the team, right? When you're a basketball player, your job is to make a shot, guard somebody, and get a rebound. And from those three things, everything else builds. Great fake. The ball fake coming down the lane. Fake the pass, everybody freezes. And then they realize he's going to shoot it, so they just lay him out. Oh, my.
Malik Brown picking up his third.
Syracuse might want to understand that he's right-handed.
Nemhard averaged 20 points and 4 assists in last year's Maui Invitational.
And he promises to be, that was a great tournament last year. I was unable to participate. I was doing PK 85 in Portland.
This is the first free throw of the second half for Gonzaga. Yeah, that one held last year at Lahaina Civic Center, of course, out of respect for the families who were impacted by the wildfires on August 8th. The tournament being moved here to Honolulu, Hawaii, while Lahaina Civic Center, meanwhile, is being utilized as a resource center for those affected residents.
And when we met with Brad there, when we met with Francis, the people who were doing all the things that enable and empower the recovery to take place, and they're not playing basketball in there anytime soon. This is a very long-term deal. Faith and patience. Do you believe, and are you willing to put the lifetime in that it takes to get the job done?
And a collaborative community effort, which was something that was awe-inspiring in our tour of Lahaina just a few days ago.
And that's what sports are all about. And that's what these great coaches, Adrian Autry, Mark Few, Matt Painter, Rick Barnes, Mick Cronin.
What a shot by Nemhard. He had Naheem McLeod staring him down, and he still got it to go.
Shaka Smart, Eric Laverde. There's never been greatness without a great coach.
EK just taking it away, and Nemhard punches it.
And Syracuse still has 49 points. Yikes.
It is a 7-0 Bulldogs run.
Where's Carmelo? Where's Dave Bing? Where's Derek Coleman? Ronnie Cycli, Sherman Douglas, Billy Owens, Lawrence Moten.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Novavax. Choose to protect your family and loved ones this holiday season with Novavax. Hawaiian Airlines serving Maui with nonstop flights from Kahului to 10 West Coast cities. And by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires.
I tried out for that team as well. They quickly asked me to leave.
How about the semifinal action we have coming up today, Bill Walton? It is Final Four worthy.
This is two fantastic games. Tennessee, Purdue. Tennessee's got a great squad. And Purdue, wow, what Matt Painter has done there. Braden Smith, I love that guy, lawyer. They got a lot of players who can surround and support Zach Edey, last year's Player of the Year. And at this time a year ago, no one, and I mean no one, thought that would ever happen. And that's the beauty of basketball. It's what happens on the court. And young Zach Edey has delivered. A guy that didn't even start playing basketball when he was 16 years old. The only other guy who's had that kind of success with that late of a start, Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem didn't start playing until he was 18.
Amazing.
He did quite well.
Yeah, amazing what he was able to develop into one of the all-timers, as the shot there by Bell is off the mark. Since Syracuse cut the lead down to 51-45, Gonzaga has gone on a 15-4 run with Nembhard scoring the last 7.
But the second chance points, so much in favor of Gonzaga, 21-5.
Well, they leave Ike alone. They dare him to shoot.
Well, he made those yesterday, trying to draw Zach Edey away from the basket.
Yeah, made a couple.
But when I look at Graham Ike, I see competitive greatness. I mean, he looked at that challenge yesterday playing against Zach and said, hey, bring it my way. I've got a game that can succeed. I can score facing the basket from the perimeter. I can score inside. I'm willing to get physical. I've got the shoulders, the back, the muscles, the development to be able to deliver the thunder.
Nolan Hickman picking up his 4th
Great
foul on that
defense.
last sequence. Loose ball goes to Nembhard. Getting back to Ike. Interesting, he redshirted last year while still at Wyoming, dealing with a lower leg injury. They were trying to see if he could make a comeback sometime towards the mid to late end of the season. It wasn't quite in the cards, and then he decided afterwards he was going to look elsewhere, and he had a lot of chances to watch college basketball throughout the year, he said, and obviously Gonzaga, one of the teams that stood out in his mind.
Health is everything, and your body does not know the calendar. Your body does not know the schedule. The only thing your body knows is when it's feeling great, and then you go out and you start playing basketball. But Syracuse this year has not been able to take care of their own defensive backboard. They have been pounded by their opponents and second chance points.
Yeah, Gonzaga against Purdue, 13 offensive rebounds, just 10 second chance points. Here in this game, though, 15 offensive rebounds, 21 second chance points. So they've gotten those extra possessions, and they've made them count.
But anytime you're going to play against a player of Zach Edey's talent, level, skill, impact, control, everything is different, because you can never leave him alone. And that's going to create all kinds of opportunities for Zach Edey's teammates. And those frontline teammates that he has, Zach Edey, they're critical. And then those guards. Dusty got a technical. Oh, man. Take it easy.
No, I believe it was Chris Bell for Syracuse. So sends Hickman to the line for the technical foul shot. It's been a tough shooting night for Chris Bell. 2 of 18 from the field, 1 of 10 from outside the arc.
On fire.
Maybe a little bit of frustration there eking out as Hickman makes the most of it. And this dynamic bill of Nolan Hickman and Ryan Nembhard, basically 2 point guards in the backcourt for Gonzaga, that has done well for them in the past when they have had that kind of sort of 2 point guard dynamic.
Well, but they've got a lot of guards in that history. A lot of tremendous players over the course of their history.
Yeah, you go back to Ryan Nembhard's brother Andrew, along with Jalen Suggs, playing together and taking the team to the 2021 national championship game.
How about Corey Kispert?
That's right.
How about the job right now that Chet Holmgren is doing? I'm going to say leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
Soft touch there by Ike. And Gonzaga running away with this one. It's now a 13-0 run. You can expand that out to 19-2. Whoa. Mintz shakes the defense. Doesn't get the bounce.
One of the great things that Syracuse has going for them is their tremendous fan base. Always in the top 4 in college basketball attendance. You got the beautiful JMA Wireless, the first dome stadium in a college campus there. Best play of the night on the offensive end for Naheem McLeod.
All right, well, let's check out tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Tommy Bahama.
You're calling this one over already?
2:01 left to go. I think we can recognize Graham Ike. 16 points, 14 rebounds.
What a game by Graham Ike. Power, strength, finesse, competitive greatness, poise, confidence, fitness, commitment to the team, industriousness, enthusiasm. This guy's got it all.
You like the headband look as well? I mean, you used to rock that back in the day.
That was to keep my hair in place. I was the first player in the history of the NBA to wear a ponytail. That didn't turn out so well.
Good look at Graham Ike. So physical, but obviously much more than just a bruiser, as Mark Few says. Very soft hands, skilled around the bucket. Pull-up shot there by Starling.
Great defense by Braden Huff. I like the way he plays.
We will have UCLA Chaminade taking the floor next.
So how's my Gonzaga UCLA prediction looking?
Well, Gonzaga holding up its end of the deal.
Silver Swords.
Oh, that one spanked away by McLeod. Gonzaga now up 72-52, and they're going to bring in some subs. Joe Few coming onto the floor.
Now, I hope that Mark, his dad, lets little Joey shoot the ball. Unlike Bobby Hurley at Arizona State. Bobby puts his son in there occasionally and then said, but don't you dare shoot it.
And Joe Few does have 3 points.
And so
to his credit, all on free throws.
Mark and Marcy have another son, AJ, who's on the coaching staff. Braden Huff, one more time.
And this has turned into an onslaught down the last 10 minutes of this game.
Don't go out on a limb. Just a freshman, Braden Huff. Outside of Chicago.
And, foul on the play. They're going to count the bucket.
Got to
finish there by J.J. Starling.
The loss of Steele Venters was very evident yesterday, not so much today. And we're just really, really sad for Steele, who's going to miss the entire season.
Yeah, it happened in a non-contact situation in practice prior to the season opener. And again, he made the trip, postponed surgery so that he could accompany the team here to the islands.
But one of the things about Gonzaga basketball is that they pride themselves on their physical fitness and their commitment to health and wellness.
There's Steele.
I have yet to see him play.
From Ellensburg, Washington, the transfer from Eastern Washington. His story is fantastic. Went from a walk-on to the Big Sky most valuable player in 4 years over there at Eastern Washington. Three ball rims in and out. That's been a bit of the story for Syracuse. Just 3 of 24 from the arc.
Give it to Joey. Give it to Joey. Come on, man. What's up with that? Shoot it.
Here he is.
Shoot it right now. Come on, Joey. Let it fly. Yeah. Please. Oh.
Meanwhile, open look for Huff. The follow-up by Krajinovic draws a whistle. Yeah, it looked like Joe had a notion there as he was dancing with the ball.
Bring it out and give it to Joe. Yeah. The pressure on both, on Mark and little Joey. What a cute little smile. I can't believe we made it all the way through this game without mentioning John Stockton.
Yeah, no kidding. We mentioned some other Gonzaga greats.
What an incredible player. Oh my gosh. Did you ever go to Jack and Dan's?
I did not.
Oh my goodness. I haven't been to Spokane in a little bit.
Well, I hope to get the invite one day as Syracuse finishes with the lob to McLeod. Again, it will be UCLA and Chaminade.
Are we sure they're here? I did not see Chaminade's arrival scene.
They're starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, noon here in Honolulu, Hawaii, as Gonzaga, after a loss from Purdue yesterday, bounces back to take down Syracuse 76-57.
Can we please get an arrival shot for Chaminade so we know there's going to be a game?
I think we saw them already in the building. We just went ahead and skipped the entire arrival process.
Wow.
You know, their school is located just a valley over, so they don't have to go very far.
Well, how far is a valley?
I would say 4 minutes from here.
A walk? 4-minute walk?
No, a 4-minute drive.
Have you ever been to Death Valley? That's a longer walk.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
what a day for Graham Ike. 16 points, 14 rebounds, double-double performance. And his teammate Anton Watson put in a double-double as well, 12 and 13. But Graham Ike, he was in control the entire time.
the joy with which the Zags play was on full display. They came right out with the determined purpose to attack. They stunk it up yesterday in the second half. They were brilliant in the first half. But wow, fortunately we've got Angel and Ike right now. Angel.
Thanks, Bill. Well, Graham Ike, double-double. When you're thinking about your performance in Game 2 of this tournament, you were out all last season due to injury. What does this mean to you in this moment, being able to play the game you love?
You know, it's just a great experience to be back out here on the floor, especially with these guys. You know, I'm just very appreciative of them, and just it's all about enjoying this and having fun and just playing our hardest.
Your double-double was nice, but Anton Watson walked away with one as well. What did you like about that tandem in there?
Man, he's a great guy. You know, just he makes the game so easy. He knows how to play the right way, and just a fun guy to play with and be around.
Nolan doesn't look like he's a fun guy. He doesn't smile very much.
That's a fun guy.
But when you're looking at how he's transformed himself in this season and really more of the floor in general, what did you like about his play tonight?
I just love the way he plays with just such swagger and so smooth, and just makes the game easy as well. Getting to his shots, you know, looking for us on the road, things like that, and just on both ends of the floor, he plays so hard. It's great.
And then as far as Mark Few, he's always challenged you guys on the defensive end, making sure that you're connected. How do you continue in that play on tomorrow?
You know, just go back to the hotel, look for our next opponent, see what they do, scout them, and then just continue to